Good morning, everyone. Our reading this morning is Psalm 55, verses 1 to 23. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not yourself from my supplication. Attend to me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death have fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror has overwhelmed me. I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then I would fly away and be at rest. Then I would wander far off and remain in the wilderness. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about upon the walls. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from our streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, because then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that magnified himself against me. But it was my equal, my guide and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked into the house of God together in company. Let death seize upon them, let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon I will pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He has delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, that even he that abideth of old. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He has put forth his hands against those that are at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet he had drawn his sword. Cast your burden upon the Lord, and he will sustain you. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But you, O God, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. The title of this morning's devotion is Soar Above the Storm. David wrote this psalm during the early stages of Absalom's conspiracy. He tells us that in times of trial we can take one of three approaches. One is that we can flee, verses 1 to 8. David talks about his emotions. He was in a difficult situation and wanted to fly away, but these troubles were part of God's discipline for him. Second, we can fight, verses 9 to 15. Absalom's conspiracy had gone so far that David could not overcome his enemies. He could only try to save his own life. He saw a sinful city, and his friends had turned against him, but God was able to overcome them. Absalom and his followers were rebels who had to be disciplined. Thirdly, we can fly above our trials, verses 16 to 23. The wind that blows down everything lifts up the eagle. We get that kind of power when we wait upon the Lord in prayer and in worship. David took his feelings and his foes, but then focused on his faith in the Lord. David triumphed because he sought God. I will call, verses 16. I will cast, verses 22. And I will trust, verses 23. God gives us burdens, and we are to give them back to him. Don't ask for wings like a dove to fly away. Let God give you wings like an eagle so that you can soar above the storm. Trials force you to respond. You can flee, you can fight, or you can fly above them. Are you facing a trial today? God has a purpose in your trial and wants you to learn how to fly above it. Cast your burden upon him and trust him for the strength to fly above your difficulty. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.